Hello Pokemon fans! Today we're going to take a closer look at the Mewtwo action figure by Tommy. At the end of this video, I will compare this Mewtwo to the older Sprue Kits model Mewtwo. You may have seen me pick this Mewtwo up at my local Walmart for $13 in a recent toy hunt video. I've liked Mewtwo ever since I first caught him in the original Pokemon Red game. I remember I foolishly used my Master Ball on one of the legendary birds, so I had to chuck like 70 Ultra Balls at this guy to catch him. Inside the packaging is a leaflet showing the other Pokemon toys available, and a little cardboard Pokemon sign fell out. Well, that's perfect and going straight on this video's thumbnail. One of Mewtwo's hands is clenched in a fist, but the other one has a separate finger and one finger that is molded to the thumb at the tips of the fingers. I think Mewtwo's getting washed out by too much purple, so let's try the blue background. Huzzah for the return of the blue background! I just realized it's been several months since I last used it. Mewtwo is about 5 inches long and 5.5 inches tall. And here he is compared to Ash in the same toy line and the Grumpy Pikachu. The packaging claims this figure has 14 points of articulation. Let's see if that's accurate. The back of Mewtwo's head has a curved segment that connects to his upper back, but this piece is made out of a rubbery plastic, so it doesn't interfere with his head articulation. Mewtwo's head is on a ball peg that allows the head to rotate around, look up and down, and you can really get some expressive poses with the tilt to the side. He has a joint in the upper torso that allows him to tilt to the side, crunch forward and back, and rotate. His arms are attached to the shoulders by rotating hinges that allow the arms to move up quite far, and then also they can move back and forward all the way around. He has a swivel just above his elbow that turns his lower arm. His elbows have a hinge that allow his arms to bend 90 degrees. Unfortunately, he does not have any articulation at the wrist. His legs can kick forward really high. Wow, Mewtwo can join the cheer team. They also move back really far. You know what? His legs will actually rotate all the way around. That's pretty neat. His legs also move out to the sides a tiny bit at the hips. Further on down his leg is a hinge that can bring his lower leg forward and back. His tail is really impressive with 4 separate swivel points that can all rotate all the way around. Moving his tail is a lot of fun, and it really helps make for some dynamic poses. Other than the lack of wrist articulation, the only other small issue I should point out with this figure are that on his back and right side of his tail are some circular cuts in the plastic where I think plugs were inserted to hide the screw holes from when he was assembled. They're really not very noticeable though, and I'd much rather have the figure this way than with ugly exposed screws. Now let's see how Mewtwo compares to another Mewtwo figure, the Sprue Kit model I built over a year ago that comes with this nice little clear stand. Now, if you aren't familiar with these models, be aware you have to assemble them yourself. These are not Mewtwo's parts, but they come similar to this in 40 pieces you need to separate from a plastic tree. And then you will need to apply some stickers, such as for the eyes. I'm surprised how much bigger the Tommy Mewtwo action figure is. The model of Mewtwo has rotation at the head, rotation at the shoulders, hinges at the elbows, and ball pegs at the wrists that are actually my favorite part of this figure. The hands can rotate all the way around and hinge back and forward. The right arm is connected to an action feature that when the tail is pushed forward, the arm raises. The legs on this Mewtwo can only move back and forward a small amount, and he has a tiny amount of back and forward motion at his lower leg. His tail has that action feature, but it also has one place where it can rotate all the way around. I noticed that the action figure is made out of a more matte plastic, while the model is shining more in my pictures. The action figure can stand on its own with the help of the tail, but the model needs assistance from the provided stand. So while I like both of these figures, The new Tommy action figure is much sturdier than the model, so I would recommend purchasing the action figure if you're buying this for a younger child. On the other hand, if you are purchasing as a collector, why not get both? I'm such an enabler. Feel free to check out my other videos for more Pokemon toys, including a review of that Ash action figure. And if you like my content, you could subscribe to stay updated. Thanks for watching!